What's up, guys? This is going to be a Dragon Ball commentary video. Yeah, this is going to be my first commentary video for Dragon Ball. So hopefully I know enough about Dragon Ball to be able to provide a valuable commentary. So I'll start the video now. This is going to be round 3. On the left side, you have Crimson Son Goku versus Android 16 on the right side. This place is Psychic Turtle Collectibles. It is a pretty cool shop. It is like the central of Pico Rivera. So if you want to visit them and pay a visit, they have tournaments here at, I believe it's 7 p.m. For $8. Pretty cool place. I like the tables. They have a cafeteria in the back, so if you're hungry during the games, you can have that provided to you. Other than that, this place is, yeah, so we're having a showdown on round 3 between two blue decks. The two blue decks typically want to play the control game as much as possible. I guess. Oh, and also to note, this place is also BO1 pre-side, so you can actually pre-side for this event. So let's start the video. Yeah, if you're approaching this matchup as the Android 16 player, typically you want to avoid attacking with your leader, because every time you attack with the leader, you force the leader, your Crimson leader, to discard a Saiyan from their hand every battle, and discarding it to the drop area to draw a card and take a life too. With the errata of the Crimson Son Goku, you have to be at 4 life or less, as a reminder, and you also have to have 5 Saiyans in the drop area to put underneath your leader to awaken. So they stun the leader a little bit, but that doesn't deter the player on the left from playing the deck at all. So it's still good. It looks like the guy on the right is discussing the side deck options, the pre-side options, uh, prior to even playing with his opponent. But I guess they're friends, so it really doesn't matter. They'll just laugh about it at the end. Yeah, it looks like they decided not to pre-side with each other. They just decided to keep it clean and not pre-side at all. So Android 16 rolls a 7, and Mr. Crimson Son Goku rolls a 5. Okay, so it looks like Android 16 has to go first. Let's start us off. So the typical Android 16 plan is to find a way to get the Android energy amplification, which is the 2-drop ramp card. You play it on your turn 2, and then you ramp to 3, and then on the next turn you charge a mono blue energy, assuming you don't have it, and then you play the Majin Buu Unison. That's the game plan for Android 16. On the left side, the game plan is to try to get 5 Saiyans in the drop area as quickly as possible. A cool play you can do to awaken faster is to play the Black Smoke Dragon. It mills the top 2 cards of your deck into the drop area, and if they're both Saiyans, you get to draw 2 cards. I mean, you don't have to wait for them to be both Saiyans, but you can draw 2 cards and essentially make it so that you can awaken a lot easier. It looks like he charges an Android 16. If you guys don't know, the Android 16 leader ignores energy exhaust for multicolored Android 16 cards. So if you charge it, you get to basically charge it for free, which is a multicolor leader. The Android 16 awakens when it's at 5 or less. Or no, when you're between you and your opponent, you have 5 or more energies, you can awaken. Untap 1, draw 1, and take life until you have 5 life. And then you're on the flip side. When it attacks on the front side, you get to discard an android and draw 2 cards. So on the Android 16's turn, he did search the energy application, and then he decides to charge. Oh, one thing to note is that you can't actually charge other androids that are multicolored in active mode. So you cannot actually do that. So just pretend that this is they don't know what this is going on. So he plays the energy amplification, then he ramps 1, and he puts Android 16 in the energy. Cool thing about ramping Android 16s in your energy is that on the backside of Android 16 leader, you can actually arrival them from the energy for free, because it will replace it. So now on the following turn, he needs to charge a blue card and then play Majin Buu if he has it. He takes the leader effect, making sure that he's putting some Saiyans in the drop area. The cool thing about the Crimson Son Goku is that you don't actually have to take the damage. You don't actually have to take a life. You can actually choose 0, and then take the life normally as you would from taking damage. So that's what he did. He discarded a Saiyan, drew a card, took the damage instead of taking a life using the ability. So he lets him take back the charge. Beerus destroys lets you bottom deck a 2-drop or less. So I imagine he wanted to use it on the Android 16 on the battle area currently. Discards another Saiyan. He draws 1, and he takes 10. All right, cool. So he pays 2 energy for Piccolo Infiltrator. Instead of using to get the barrier, he decides to get the Pan. Pan allows him to draw an extra card. So this move is a +2, and then he is able to attack twice with the Piccolo, which is extra pluses if you force your opponent to discard cards.
It's not worth it though. It's not worth it, but it's like. Yeah, but I know what you mean. It's not bad at all though. Like it basically draws 2. Like I think Saiyan Instincts is just completely power corrupt.
Yeah, I kind of agree with the guy on the left. He said that Saiyan Instincts, which is the yellow card that warped it from the drop area to draw 2, I agree that it has been power crept by this particular Piccolo because it can also generate a +2 as well. So he hits for 20 to the leader, putting him at an awkward position. So now he's able to declare Awakening because between the two they have 5 energy or more. He untaps 1, draws 1, and then takes life until he has 5. And then he decides to use the android's backside ability to arrival in a from the energy. Or no, he actually arrived from his hand, and then snipe a 4-cost or less. So that's what it does. Being on the backside for Android 16, it allows you to facilitate the arrival because it combos from the drop area. And then he did that, and then he was able to Z charge the Android 16 into the Z energy, and then snipe a 4-cost or lower. In this case, he didn't have to deal with taking 2 damage.
I have to be at 3 energy for Zamal. No, you have to. No, you have to be at 3.
Okay, he draws a card. So this is normally the turn that he can play the Majin Buu Unison, assuming he charges a mono blue and has the Majin Buu Unison. So again, he charges illegally. Well, he could charge it, but it would have to be in rest mode, and yeah, you can't do that. And judging by the fact that he didn't charge a mono blue energy, tells me he doesn't have the Majin Buu in hand. He declares an attack for 15k into the leader. Instead of 15. Uses a skill to put a Saiyan in the drop, draw a card, and then he takes the life from the damage. Oh, it looks like he takes the damage and he takes a life. Interesting. Okay, now he attacks with a leader. Not sure what he's doing by looking at the drop area. Oh, I see. So he's contemplating what he wants to use D-Magic, and he does. He's D-Magic to negate the leader swing, untapping 2 energy. And he attacks with a 5k, and he negates. So I imagine he negated the attack because he doesn't want him to arrival, because he could essentially use the leader ability to facilitate the arrival from the drop or from the energy. So that's why he negated it. Otherwise, Beerus Destroyer can just bottom deck the Android 16 because he's a 2 drop.
I hate this deck. It doesn't matter what you do.
Okay, he charges Majin Buu, and
This shit's falling, isn't it? No, that's good. It's chilling. He told me it's fine. He told me it's fine. Dude, it just moved. No, I know. He told me it's fine though. It's fine.
all right, kudos to these guys for adjusting the camera. Okay, he pays 2 energy to play another Infiltrator. A useful tip is if you do play multiple copies of Infiltrator in your deck, it's always a good idea to check how many pans you have in your deck if you intend on using the pan summoning ability, because you want to be able to know for sure that you have a second copy or a third copy in your deck so that you can play them. Otherwise, yeah, you're just using the ability for no reason, and he won't get barrier, which is the better keyword if you don't have any pans in your deck. Okay, so he decides to go after the Android 16 arrest mode. That's a 15k, and he knows that the Android 16 can just use the backside or the combo ability from the drop to protect it. So I imagine he's going to combo the pan on the board to bump up to 25 to force the Android 16 to combo from his hand if he wants to protect it. So instead he lets it die. Okay, now that there's 5 Saiyans in the drop area, he's now going to declare Awakening, untap 1 and draw 3. Okay, and he still has another swing with the Infiltrator. And he also has a swing with the Crimson Goku. Okay, he swings into the battle card, I believe.
No counters?
Untaps 1 on the attack, draws a card, like a mini Soul Striker.
Just the 15.
Okay, it looks like he plays. Okay, so he can arrival. So the cool thing about Android 16 is that you can use the arrival ability, uh, even if it's not an Android 16 from the energy. So that's the cool thing about that. As long as it's blue and green and it has arrival. And when she comes out, she actually snipes a battle card, and she also takes a card and put it on the bottom of the deck. So in this case, he took out the Infiltrator. He's still contemplating what to do with the 3 energy. My guess is that he needs to put up like some kind of strong unison of some kind, but I don't think he plays the Raditz unison. The Raditz unison is a specified cost of 3, and it could draw him a card and restand and block, but I don't think he plays it. He pays 1 energy. He plays Son Goku that has deflect and draws him a card if he has 3 or more energy. Or he can only be played if you have 3 or more energy, and your leader has to be a Saiyan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, it's also a blocker too. All right, so he passes with 1 blocker and a pan. Yeah, it looks like he charges a green.
15
The downside of Android 16's curve is that he has no way to +1 with either the leader ability or Majin Buu Unison. So he has to rely on playing things from his energy in order to generate a good advantage. It looks like he mills the SCR into his energy, which is really unfortunate.
What? My Xenos?
So it looks like he has to play the game without the SCR, no Majin Buu, and no way to draw a card off the leader.
25 free?
Okay, he's attacking with the Android 18. The Android 16 that he just played has dual attack, and when he comes into play or comboed, your opponent has to discard a card. So he's gonna go for the hand destruction route because that seems to be his only option at this point. But overall, the Android 16 player is kind of behind on card advantage.
No negates. What?
He decides to take the damage with 3 life left, and he's plans on keeping it. The other thing about this Android is it's also a blocker and has revenge. Any battle card that goes after or attacks, he can just block with this guy and then trigger the revenge ability to KO it.
It's not too bad though. For that. My Gohan. Hey, are you scared of my Gohan Esper, bro?
Turn 4 is now come to the Crimson Goku player. He can actually tap all 4 to play the Majin Buu, assuming he has another one. Otherwise, I don't see why he charged the only Majin Buu he has. Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have another Majin Buu Unison.
There's the fucking move. There's the line. We got there.
I think he realizes that he could have kept the Majin Buu.
Oh, that fucker has revenge, doesn't he? Yeah, he does have revenge.
Yeah, turn 4 is a very pivotal turn for blue players, just because Majin Buu just generates so much of value just by bringing him in. And now he's kind of forced to do other plays, like maybe a Cell or Infiltrator, to take down his life. We're going to fast forward here to see if he decides to do a play.
That'd all be fine and dandy.
Okay, he pays 2 energy to play the Black Smoke. Black Smoke will then send the battle card to the Warp, ignoring Barrier. He attacks with Leader, untaps 1 to draw 1. He decides to negate with the Android 17 promo.
Anytime you attack with a battle card, you bottom deck a card. Yeah, true. That is also fun.
Which is weird. I thought this leader or this card has to have, you had to have a certain amount of requirements here. Let me look it up. I think his name is Defending Friends. Yeah, and he does. Yeah, so this seems to be an illegal activation because you need to have. Oh, wait. The wording says or. So he needs to have a Z battle card in play, and it says that your leader has to be a Z leader to use his ability. Otherwise, you could just negate it normally, but I'm not too sure if that was actually correct. I'm not sure how the wording is, but even if uh, yeah, even if the wording is ambiguous of how it is, it says either condition you have a Z battle card to play, or this he does not have it filled. So I'm not too sure. So I guess that was an illegal negation as well. Well, the negation is not illegal. It's just that the condition where he has to bottom deck a card is not active to attack with his cards. Okay, he pays 1 energy to play the Borgos. This Borgos reads, it has a barrier, and if your opponent tries to counterattack and untap an energy, they have to warp 1 card from their life and 1 card from their hand, I believe. I'm not too sure. I haven't seen this card in a while. Borgos. Yeah, so if your opponent switches their energy in active mode using a counter skill, they have to choose 1 card in their life and energy. Okay, so life and energy and put it in the drop area. So cards like Dimension Magic would be a card that it targets or it tries to single out. He attacks with the Android 18 and combos the Android 17 to bump up to 25. 25 crit. So then he takes Pierce Destroys, draws a card. And here he should combo the Black Smoke because Black Smoke doesn't really have any ability to attack. So it's just sitting there. Unless Android 16 or Android 18 is a 25k base. I forget the name of this guy. Android 18. So this Android 18 is a 25 base. So yeah, he did combo up to 25. Well, it makes sense that he's super comboed, followed up with a Beerus Choice. Okay, he pays 2 to play the Frieza. See, so that's why I suggested that he combo from both his drop area or his battle area because they were going to get popped by something. If he had kept the Beerus Destroys, he could have bottom decked the Frieza. But he didn't know he was going to bring it out. A lot of people forget that Android 16 has access to green cards, green Z battles. Okay, so now he's going to rival his Android 16 that forces him to discard a card. And he ramps his Sensu Bean, or he replaces the energy with the Sensu Bean. Okay, he discards his Majin Buu Unison. So he did actually have the Majin Buu Unison, he just didn't play it last turn.
To an extent, it got like hand control, got aggro, some sort of aspect, right?
So he's deciding whether he wants to combo out of the 25 or take the double strike.
And then Bean. He knows your play. I'm assuming he's gonna. He's assuming my play. Leader effect, right? And then like, bounces to my bottom of my deck or something.
Okay, he looks like he's deciding to do the activate battle and untap an energy. I'm not too sure what the Crimson, what's the stipulation on Crimson. So Crimson Sun Goku. So this guy's ability, place X amount of cards under this card to the drop area. It gets 2k power for the battle for each card's place. So he wants to become a 17k. It won't be able to draw a card unless it places 3 more cards, and so I'm guessing he's using that ability to draw or to make it 17k. And then he wants a combo 110k to get out of it. A great defense. Yeah, he combos the Son Gohan rare, and then he Z charges it and kills the Frieza. Now he has to deal with a dual attack, 20k with 3 life and no energy open. Yeah, he attacks for 15. gonna do that same move again. Unless it's only once per turn. Is it once per turn? I never know about Crimson. Yeah, it's only once per turn, so he can only do the pump ability once.
Not gonna charge you. I should have just done this. Okay, so you do 17 right now then? Or you do 20? No, I should have just gone with like. Alright, wait. So you're not using meter? No. Okay, I need to do it now. Okay. Now you have to do it. Yeah. Okay, 15 later. No, wait, why? Because I swung at you. Oh, 25. I'd rather just take it than waste one of these.
Oh, it looks like they're just friends. They're just playing amongst each other and letting take back speed.
Yeah. So how do you combo this? I combo 3.
That was a 25k,
That's 30. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
and then he's E-charged the rest, yeah.
And then, yeah, 15 to 15.
Now he has to deal with a 20k dual attacker, which is going to shrink his hand size down further unless he takes the damage.
Here's why. Because I gotta do this.
So now he wants to untap an energy to draw a card, and he just drew into a Sensu Bean,
Or 21.
which helps him a little bit.
And then, your turn.
Okay, he restands.
Dude, Seraphin had 17 energy. Or 16.
Did you lose?
What?
You lost?
Yeah, I lost because he charged.
I think he has a Gohan SCR in hand, so he could actually use that to bounce back all his cards and crit a life, but the Android 16 player is so far ahead in life. I'm gonna decide to overall my Dark Broly here. Take out the Revenge Blocker. And okay, so normally I don't advise that you play your battle cards all out at once. It's typically a good idea to play one battle card, swing with it, in case that there's any sort of disruption on their end on the combo step. Because if you're doing this play right here, where you have both the Piccolo, you develop the Piccolo before attacking with this, then what happens is he can actually, if you attack with here, and he has any sort of disruption, he can actually KO this guy, right? So it's better just to swing with the 30k in first, and then develop your Piccolo, and then if you want to attack, attack, and then even if he has any sort of disruption, it would only take out it would only take out this guy or that guy, as opposed to losing an entire attack, is what I'm trying to say.
You play pen from drop?
No, I'm just seeing if I have a pen. Did you talk?
No, I didn't top because of some reasons. When I didn't top, bro, because of my tiebreakers both times for both events, that's crazy.
Okay, so he decides to play the pan and decides to draw a card here.
I got the highest place.
Where?
Oh, Nats? 65 in Nats. Didn't you get like 34th or something?
I got 35th. But like I bubbled out by fucking 3 feet.
Me and Hassan, dude. Me and Hassan top of everybody else did shit like 186. I would have thought.
Okay, so my guess is gonna swing with the Infiltrator first because he does have 5 life, and so typically you want to swing in with your little guy first because they have less cards in their hand to deal with the little guy, and then when you swing with the big guy, typically they have more cards in hand, but then they have to discard them all. So he decides to attack little first by leader. Again, this is this you could negate with this. It's just that the condition where they have to bottom deck a card is not active because he's not a Z leader.
Fucks me up. It's crazy.
Okay, so next order of progression, he should swing with the Piccolo here before attacking with the Dark Broly.
Dude, that deck's cheating. How you beating it? Honestly, just the floodgates.
And notice that the Android 16 is running out of cards in hand, and that's normal if you don't have the Unison out or the leader ability on the front side to draw cards.
I know it doesn't because he has the A drop, but you're forced to play your A drop though.
So the Crimson player does have advantage per se, but I don't think he knows exactly what to do with these advantages.
Alright. But like green blue is the best.
He's deciding to play 3. I think he's going to play the Cell here to absorb the cards. So this is another mistake as well, is that he's further developing his battle cards even before attacking with these guys, and that's usually Dragon Ball as a Dragon Ball Sin, I guess, to Dragon Ball No No, just because there's so much interruption in the combo step.
Are you going? Yeah. I'm going. Cards in hand? Big Jacob, tell him I'm leaving. 6 cards, you're Ryan's going too.
One energy up.
Energy isn't crazy.
Nah, my energy's crazy.
Energy's not that scary. Dude, there's no way you got another 17 card.
I use my 17 right there.
I know. You used 2. They're gone. There's no way you have another one in your hand for next turn. I'd be so fucking pissed. What else can I survive?
Okay.
When you have a fat hand.
It's pretty good.
I mean, he only has 6 cards in hand, so this should be pretty solid on what he has to do. Okay, so he's gonna go for the crit play. It looks like, because that's 2 damage that he doesn't have to worry about. Oh, I see, I see. Um, so the Crimson player is under the impression that he has to bottom deck cards in order to attack. However, I don't think he knows that the condition for not attacking is active or not. It's not active. So he developed the cell, which makes sense.
What's the secret? Let's go. Is that a Godger? Is there a new Godger? What is it Gohan?
No,
No, that'd be sick though.
Swing a leader.
Why? I mean, it's badass, but I don't know if it's Gohan.
He's gonna come with a Android 18. I believe he's gonna try to play the Android 18 from the energy. Nope, he chooses to play the one that snipes. He snipes the Piccolo, and then he rivals the Android 18 from hand to bounce the cell. And since it's a Z battle card, it doesn't go back to the extra deck or the Z battle or the Z deck. It goes to the remove from play, the remove from play zone,
And then I bounce it
a
back.
zone of no return.
25.
Okay, he takes the damage by the sound of it. I think he has that. I think he's at 2 life now. Because being at 1 life is generally lethal because he can burn.
It is your turn after that.
What?
He's passing.
I guess you just want to clear forward. Barrier? Yeah.
Okay, so now he's deciding to go barrier because Pan is now ran out in his deck.
Swing leader?
Yeah, again. So this is okay. So I see why he did that because the leader untaps energy. Otherwise, yeah, you shouldn't develop before the attack.
Oh, misplay.
I think he drew into another Pan. Okay, so he sensu beans.
Two, four, five.
So I didn't know this, but the Android 16 player has the Zeno super combo, which can pick up his SCR from the energy and add it to his hand. And this is a form of burn. And then also this Android 16 can play a burn Android 21 from the deck and burn him another life. So technically, the Android 16 player just has to survive and burn the remaining 2 life off the opponent to win.
He chooses 2, 4, 6.
Okay, so now he decides to go Gohan, which burns him a life and bounces back everybody.
Want to look at it?
gonna fast forward a little bit.
Do dirty. He has a lot of attacks though.
So he swings with the leader, which I think he already did that. Yeah, I didn't know we zoomed back that far back. Now he's decided to swing with the infiltrator and use the unbreakable to attack. And yeah, I believe he used the Z or the backside ability to combo out of this attack.
Battle.
Attacks again, combos,
25.
and then he rivals. I want to say he rivals the 4-drop here.
35.
Rivaling the 4-drop actually snipes this guy, so he doesn't have to worry about the attack. He just has to commit to the play. Being in 4 active energy is actually pretty scary though, so...
Oh, true. Still 5 more.
He also has Zeno super combo, so I'm not too sure if he's scared of anything else here. The Zeno super combo can be a form of defense.
Play.
I wonder what he's thinking about.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
Okay, so he decides to rival that one, which is a blocker. So he combos 35 to get out of the 30. I think he activated Dirty Burst because that Gohan is not swinging for some reason. Okay, so he uses Cell to absorb and have trouble going underneath. Denied access. Okay, he swings for 25. Critical, and he can also restand. No counter. He decides he wants to take the combo challenge here.
Yeah, no counters. Cards in hand. 5.
5. Okay, looks like he wants to go critical. I'm unsure why he's comboing so high on this attack, just to do a crit damage. But we'll find out soon enough.
45.
I did see a Dirty Burst in his hand. Or was that the Gohan SCR? No, that was a Gohan SCR.
Yep.
Okay, he kills the cell. I'm not sure why he put that in the drop area. It should be on the battle area.
Cards in hand. 4.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is going to come to a close pretty soon.
Yeah, I think you just win.
Yeah, so he's now deciding to play the Gohan SCR, which burns him a life. And then with the remaining life, he can decide to burn his life with the steadfast ally over here.
Later. Cards in hand. 1.
Yeah. And he gets the attack.
First one.
Cool thing about being a rival is that he can actually rival this on his turn. And then make him lose the last life. He untaps 2 energy instead of
Fucked up.
restanding the leader. But technically, he could have attacked again with the leader.
Well, actually, no, I won't pass. Can I go back? That's my takes back to you.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna do instead.
Okay.
Yeah, so he's gonna swing with the
I was
leader.
thinking when you didn't do that, I'm like, there's another play you could do.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. Get one energy up.
I mean, that also just go ahead and charge.
I wonder if Videl is a card that you have to pay something. Let me see. Videl. This one right here. This Videl says
Try something.
just negate. That's all it does.
Swing?
I gotta just swung with everybody.
No, I untapped it. I used the main.
No negates.
No negates, and then
Yeah.
yeah, combo.
Yeah, yeah,
So did you have the? Okay, okay. So what I was scared of.
Yeah, so that's the end of the game. Very strange game. I didn't expect a lot of different plays to come down off the standard plays that are pretty good, but I can see why they just chose to do it. Anyways, thanks for watching my first commentary video. Dragon Ball is necessary. It's a pretty long match, so I can see why it would be difficult to commentate for this. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully I'll do more in the future.